on like 3 or 4 occasions, I heard a growl that made me a little bit concerned. I'm not gonna...
In the last episode, I camped alone in the jungles near Arenal Volcano and heard some growls in the night. I never actually found the source, but I'm convinced it could have been a jaguar. Nevertheless, I made it peacefully through the night, and the next morning I woke up and hiked the trail to the 2010 lava fields. As much as I loved Arenal, it was time to pack up camp and hit the road in search of the next adventure. Today's destination was Monteverde Biological Preserve. Now, it's not very far as the crow flies. In fact, in the 1990s, I traveled between La Fortuna and Monteverde by horseback and hiking straight through the jungle. But today, the only real way to get there was an 80-mile narrow road that cuts straight through mountainous jungles and wraps around Lake Arenal. 80 miles doesn't seem like a lot, but in Costa Rica, that could take 3 to 5 hours depending on road conditions. So far, the road wasn't all that bad, but I did read that it can get dicey in the rainy season. And yes, this was the rainy season. I made it about halfway around the lake before stopping off at a roadside joint for some arroz con pollo. And for some reason after that, the only radio station I could get was 90s hip-hop. Now I had to focus more on driving than filming, but there were some monstrous potholes on the roads down here, big enough to do damage to your vehicle if you're not careful, and so abundant that in order to dodge them, you have to swerve around the road like some kind of drunken lunatic. As I rode higher into the mountains, the temperatures dropped, the clouds settled in, and the rain started to fall. I had been warned that road conditions could change quickly here, especially up in the mountains. The rivers began rising, some nearing the edge of the roads. I encountered several side roads that were already blocked. Then I hit several mini landslides. Sure, they were easy enough to drive around, but it was a perfect example of how the mountains and roadways can just start crumbling here as soon as it rains. There was no telling if I was going to encounter a bigger one around the next bend, or worse yet, have a road collapse beneath me. I would have wanted to film more, but truthfully, I just wanted to get off the road at this point. I had read about a restaurant on the iOverlander app that was a popular stopover for gringo travelers and Pan-American overlanders. Who the hell camps at a restaurant, you ask? Yeah, I know it sounds odd, but Turin Restaurant is on a beautiful piece of property, very secluded with rolling hills, beautiful gardens, and a river running straight through it.
Camping behind a restaurant on a family's farm and property, which is pretty cool. The restaurant is right up the road right there. This is all their property.
Once again, the rains came pouring down, leaving me in the dirt with little to do other than sit underneath the awning and drink beer. So I headed over to the restaurant for dusk and enjoyed tilapia with gallo pinto. And just as quickly as it cleared up, it started storming again. The family assured me that no matter how hard it rained, there was no chance in hell that river would rise high enough to reach my truck. But still, I didn't want to risk it. Can you imagine being trapped in a rooftop tent and having your vehicle flushed away down some rapids? I grabbed myself a couple beers and headed up to the tent to chill for a while, but every 20 minutes or so, I took a peek on that river to see where the level was.
So far, driving here in Costa Rica is not as bad as I thought it would be. But then again, it's a matter of perspective. I am from Louisiana. Everyone drives very shittily there. We have lots of potholes and the roads are in crappy condition. So really, coming to Costa Rica, it hasn't been that big of a difference except for the mountains. So you kind of take New Orleans driving and put it in the mountains with narrow lanes, and that basically describes Costa Rican driving. So I guess I'm kind of acclimated to it. Today was the first time I got a little bit nervous. It started storming, and the fog rolled in, and there were a number of smaller landslides. I saw some accidents. I ran my GoPro, the videos, I don't think they quite do it justice. Happens quite frequently that roads just collapse. Just a few days before I came here, they had a landslide that led to a bus going off of a cliff here, and I think 9 people were killed and like 50 were injured. And you know, that's just kind of some of the stuff that happens here. So yeah, I was a little concerned driving the road today.
Nestled in a central part of the country, Monteverde Biological Preserve is one of the last pristine cloud forests left in Central America. It serves as a living laboratory for biologists from around the world. It's home to 2,500 plant species, 100 mammal species, and more than 400 types of birds. Now, I could ramble on and tell you more about the place, but it may be best for me just to shut the hell up and let you enjoy it.